Good morning. My name is Barry Hooper. I'm a senior green building coordinator with the City of San Francisco Department of the Environment, Environment Department. And I'm one of three folks who've been contributing to coordinating today's forum. So I'll just welcome you here in San Francisco. A little bit uniquely, since it's a hybrid event, we're working to have the experience be really reward those who've come in person, as well as be as good as we can, as good as it was in the good old days of the pandemic on Zoom. So really trying to be fair to both types of participants. We have we have more than 400 people total register between the in-person and online audiences. And so we probably won't be able to get to everyone's questions today, but we have a lot of great material to go over. So I'll share a little bit about BayREN, and then hand it over to our primary organizer and my co-host, Avana Andrade with San Mateo County. So BayREN is an umbrella and a government-run, a holacracy of collaboration among the nine counties of the Bay Area, and that serve both those counties and the local governments within them. The intention overall is to advance sustainability with an emphasis on energy policy, so building government capacity, reducing carbon emissions, and then planning and supporting for improvement in the performance of the built environment. We've been around this is our 10th year of operation, so and we serve 20% of California's population. There are 6 major programs today in BayREN. The Single Family Home Plus serves single family and also, I believe, up to 4-unit residential with incentives and technical assistance. Green labeling program to advance action on the basis of effective information. For multifamily, the BAMBI program, or Bay Area Multifamily Building Enhancements Program, has served a substantial fraction of particularly multifamily in San Francisco, but definitely around the entire Bay Area. And has each of these programs have some great incentives specifically to advance efficient electrification. It's been come more to the fore in recent years. BayREN Business is an innovative program that pays incentives and pays participants on the basis of actual energy savings. We have a water efficiency program, and then today our program is coordinated by the Codes and Standards program, which of course we'll talk about in a little bit more detail. So it's like any BayREN program, it's a joint effort of each of the 9 counties in the Bay Area. We're seeking to advance both compliance and best practices in implementing the state's energy code, as well as advancing local energy policy locally. So the two really thrusts of that are to improve understanding and compliance with the energy code. And then on the policy front, we have been a substantial contributor to the growth of interest and execution of REACH codes and other energy policy best practices. The types of services that we can offer to support one another include direct support for REACH codes. So there's a lot of great information on our website. And we also would point you to and collaborate with any of the other programs that also offer support for REACH code development and implementation. We offer technical support, both in thinking through a REACH code, as well as customized trainings that really incorporate local requirements so that your building department staff or other folks who are directly involved in implementation, and that's our emphasis in education, can be well prepared to implement those local policies. We also offer ongoing and regular energy code trainings, again, where our primary target audience are local officials, primarily inspectors and plan reviewers, but there's a lot of openness. They're not closed necessarily to the public, and some services do serve contractors as well. They're both offered both in person and online, always free, always an emphasis on improving understanding and compliance with the energy code. 3 noteworthy upcoming trainings include specific details on policies that relate to residential alterations in compliance with the energy code, residential additions on April 12th, and then new construction for residential on April 26th. We do also offer non-residential, certain non-residential trainings, but that's a lot of the interest is in ensuring we get things right in the residential sector. And just want to make a special plug that heat pump water heater installation training and plan review training is available on demand. We offer assistance to local governments in identifying opportunities for meeting zero net energy and zero net carbon goals in their own facilities. That includes both technical assistance and assessment, as well as example contract language, such as RFP and owner's project requirements templates for implementing projects. A lot of great interest in those programs in recent years. And with that, I'm going to hand things over to our virtual co-host, Avana Andrade. Avana, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about today?
Of course. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. It's nice to see you all. My name is Avana Andrade. I am a senior sustainability coordinator at the San Mateo County Office of Sustainability. And I just wanted to walk you through a couple of our virtual attendees. Thank you for being here. A few Zoom how-tos. Your video camera is not needed. We're in a webinar format. Please use the chat feature to interact with panelists and other participants if you'd like. But please do put your questions in the Q&A box. That helps us keep track of everything during our Q&A session. So please utilize that. And just want to reiterate what Barry said. We will do our best to get to as many questions as we can, but we may not be able to get to all of them today. We will break, as the agenda says, and we'll go through that in a second. We'll break for questions at the end of each session. Next slide. So just to walk you through, in case this is new, there's a chat box at the bottom. Use that to interact with hosts and panelists and other participants, and use the Q&A function for your questions, please. That would be the most helpful for us. Next slide. The views expressed in these presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, the Bay Area Regional Energy Network, or the jurisdictions that BayREN represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentations should be directed to the authors. This question has come up already in the chat. Yes, the materials will be sent to you after the forum is completed, along with a recording of the event today. During this forum, we'll be focusing on the methane gas system, and we encourage you to focus your questions on this as well. We understand that questions about electricity and the grid, especially grid reliability, come up really quickly. So if this is something that you're interested in, please join us in June for our second quarter forum, where we'll talk specifically about grid reliability. So again, please focus your questions on the methane gas system today, and we'll get to grid reliability later. We'll go through the agenda. We've already gone through our introduction to the BayREN forum, excuse me, to the BayREN sort of family of programs. I'll give you a little bit more background on the topic at hand today, and then we'll launch into our first panel that's going to be focusing on building decarbonization in the natural gas system. We'll break around 10:10 for a Q&A. Excuse me, we won't break for a Q&A. We'll go into a Q&A, and then we'll have a break at about 10:40. And 10 minutes later, we'll start our panel 2, looking at government action and approaches to decommissioning. We'll have our second Q&A and then wrap up with closing remarks. So with that, I'm going to introduce our BayREN county reps. BayREN, as a local government collaboration, has a representative from each of the 9 Bay Area counties. So we're going to do a quick introduction and icebreaker, so all of you get to know who your local BayREN rep is, if you don't already know. And the question today is, what is your top question about natural gas or methane gas decommissioning? So with that, I'll pass it off to Helen.
Ivana, why don't we do the online?
Okay, we'll switch to the virtual. We'll switch to the virtual attendees. Let's see, Damien.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Damian Hardman. I'm with Contra Costa County. I am the BayREN rep for Contra Costa County, and I'm happy to be here and be part of this discussion. And our question for this for our county is, how can communities prioritize which areas to engage or decarbonize first?
Thank you, Damien. Alera.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Alera Moju with the County of San Mateo Office of Sustainability. I work with Avana over there, and I'm very privileged to do so. Excited to be here today. And the question that I have is, what does the process of decommissioning gas look like? And how do you implement an end-of-flow policy? Thank you.
Thank you, Alera. Karen from ABAG MTC. We can circle back to
Ivana,
in a little bit, perhaps.
first intro.
Oh,
I think Jennifer Brianne might still be online.
Barry, are you speaking?
Yes, can you hear me?
It was a little faint. I can hear you. Yes.
Introduce, sorry, this is Barry Hooper with the San Francisco Environment Department. And my question is, what's the role of local governments and how do we work with PG&E on this issue?
Barry, you're very difficult to hear. I'm not sure which microphone you're using, but it's faint.
Thanks for the feedback. So that's a good reminder for us in-person folks that when we're using this mic, we have to put our face really close to it. So I'm Barry Hooper, sorry, and I am looking forward to learning more about what local governments can do to influence the gas transition to prepare for it and how we should best relate to PG&E.
Great, thank you, Barry. Is there another in-person rep we can have?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kellen Damon. I work with the County of Marin, the Community Development Agency's sustainability team. And our kind of question is, what happens when somebody doesn't want to electrify? Marin County, we have our own electrification rebate program, and we've had a lot of stuff in the news and press releases, and that's a little bit of feedback we get sometimes. It's folks that just don't, they want to keep their gas appliances. So that's our question.
Thank you, Kellen. And Phoebe.
It's okay. Good morning, I'm Phoebe Rafferty. I'm the Napa County rep. And my question is, if we start pruning gas lines, is there enough electric capacity?
Hi, folks. I'm Karen Christensen. I'm the BayREN Codes and Standards Program Manager. I work at ABAG MTC, and I really want to know more about how this all relates to gas infrastructure safety and maintenance on ongoing efforts to keep the gas system going and how that works with us. I think that concludes our in the room presentations, but I think there are a couple more people online.
Yes, thank you, Karen. Next we have Brianne.
Everyone, I'm Brianne Boyle. I'm the codes rep for Santa Clara County, and I work in the county's Office of Sustainability. My question is, what would this look like for communities that use propane? Would more people switch to propane if they can't have natural gas?
Thank you, Brianne. And Jennifer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer West, and I work at Stop Waste in Alameda County. My question is about a zonal electrification. So when we want to electrify an entire block or a neighborhood and geographic area, and just to reduce the costs really of maintaining gas infrastructure in that zone, how do we change our messaging from wanting to electrify the largest gas uses in our home to electrifying everything?
Thank you, Jennifer. Next up, we have Christine.
Good morning. I am the Codes and Standards rep for the County of Sonoma. I work with the Climate Action and Resiliency Division at the CAO's office at the county. I'm an energy and sustainability analyst. And my question is, what happens to existing buildings that are impractical or infeasible to electrify?
Thank you, Christine. And last but not least, we have Nandi.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I work for Solano Economic Development Corporation, and I run the BayREN program under my counterpart, J. Paul Harrington. And our question today was, how do we ensure that disadvantaged communities aren't left holding the bag after decarbonization?
Thank you, Nandi, and thank you to all of our county reps. So I'm going to introduce our topic for the day before passing things off to our first guest speaker. I wanted to provide a little bit of context for the topic we're addressing today. Decommissioning or retiring entire sections of the natural gas line has become a more common topic in climate action planning realms for a few reasons. Decarbonizing and improving the energy efficiency of our building stock are critical actions within the context of climate action plans and meeting local and state climate goals. This past fall and winter, many jurisdictions passed their second REACH code, some may be their first, effectively banning natural gas in newly constructed buildings. Now, attention is turning to the existing building stock and what it looks like to retrofit and electrify these buildings. As many of you are already well aware, the prospect of electrifying existing buildings is really a tall order. The complexity and cost can vary, and there are different approaches to this. As our guest speaker, David Sawaya, will bring up, we can take a appliance by appliance approach or consider broader strokes approaches, such as electrifying entire streets, blocks, or neighborhoods at a time. So during this webinar, we hope to explore this idea, the regulatory and legal background, the economic, financial, and technological feasibility of small and large scale decommissioning, and we'll look at some approaches to establishing a framework for sorting out where and how to start a decommissioning analysis. So with that, I will pass things off to our first guest speaker, Veronica Vostenak.